Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ Review number 287. I am Virtue, the moderator, being joined by this week's elite panel of the review. Of course, Aaron Rift is here, the reliable one, Walter Cruz, and TJS, who has showed up last minute to join us, who normally has been known to bail last minute when something's come up, but he is now going the other way to try to get those brownie points back. So everybody in the chat, give TJS props for showing up for Big G, who has become the new TJS, and his life is hectic, and he wants to be on, but he can never be on. What's up, everybody? Aaron, I'll start with you for a change. I always come to you last. What's up?
I'm doing good. It's been a busy several days. Memorial Day weekend was noteworthy for many reasons. We had King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. We had AEW Double or Nothing in Las Vegas. And then we had Monday Night Raw with some interesting developments. I'm looking forward to tonight's discussion. TJS, you're looking good. Glad to have Mr. Reliable on with us again. And Virtue, always a pleasure to discuss wrestling. So yeah, I'm excited for tonight's video. And if you guys want to support the channel, share a link to this on your social media accounts and help us get in as many viewers as possible. That would be very much appreciated. Virtue?
All right, Aaron. Well, Walter, I'll start with you. We'll save TJS for the big old grand finale of the introductions. So, Walter, what's up?
Nothing much, doing well. Thank you to all the veterans out there that made the ultimate sacrifice. Memorial Day was yesterday. I have a lot of military family, so shout out to that. And I'm ready to get into it. Coming off two very, very different PLEs or pay-per-view, one PLE, one pay-per-view from two different companies, ready to get into it. You got great topics, so I'm ready.
All right, well, stay tuned. And TJS, you do look like you're in a cartoon. How fitting. What's going on?
It's very cold here in South Park, Colorado. No, but in all seriousness, looking forward to discussing tonight, boys. I did watch King and Queen of the Ring, as well as Double or Nothing, and I did pay the 50 schmeckles for Double or Nothing. So, kind of interested to. Yeah, poor me, I know. So can't wait to talk about that. It'll be probably a filler topic, but
well, AEW, I don't know, we might kick off with it. Actually, let's kick off with King and Queen of the Ring from Saudi Arabia. And of course, we had a new women's what is that championship? The Women's World Championship. I get so confused with WWE title belts because they got so many of them. But Becky Lynch lost to Liv Morgan and Dominik Mysterio. We got some drama there. We are actually going to talk a little bit about the drama with Liv and Dominik, and then, of course, Becky in separate topics. So this is just about the King and the Queen of the Ring. Of course, Nia Jax defeated Valkyria, whatever. These new names, and it's funny. Was there not a other Valkyrie or something? She was Johnny Mundo's wife, and now I don't understand these WWE names, but nonetheless, of all people, who would have thought Nia Jax would be Queen of the Ring right now? And of course, Gunther defeated Randy Orton in a pretty fun match, and yeah, Cody's still the champ. So TJS, I'm going to start with you. Thoughts from Saudi Arabia? They're still doing shows over there because they're still getting the money, but remember, Triple H said both the King and the Queen of the Ring get title shots at SummerSlam. So what are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I'm just glad that there are finally some stakes in the tournament because it feels like this has pretty much been just a gimmick tournament since, I believe the last one was in 2021 where Xavier Woods won it. And did anyone really take him seriously as King of the Ring? I don't think so. Yeah. So, and even before that, I don't even remember. Who was it before that? I don't even recall. That's the thing. I should remember who these people are. And I think, Zelina Vega was the queen. Just two jokes as king and queen. All due respect. It's the booking that I don't like. But this year, I thought it was great. I think that this tournament and really this whole thing was built for Gunther to be the king. I mean, because if it's going to go on a babyface, and I'll get to this when I talk about the thing, but it needs to not go on a babyface because there's no heat. Like if Valkyria won the Queen of the Ring tournament, she would just be like the smiling babyface, which is kind of what I'm worried about. Worried she's headed in that direction anyway. So it just doesn't make sense to have a face queen or king. But yeah, Gunther, I'm glad he didn't put on the crown because I think it looks a little silly when they put the crown on. But I can't wait to see him at SummerSlam in a world title match. His booking has been great ever since he got called up. He's been pinned literally one time, and it's by Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. So I really think that they're doing a great job with him. As far as Nia being queen, I think this is the right call. I think that she's improved quite a bit. I mean, I think this run is a lot different than her first run with the My Hole and all the comedy. I think that both the King and the Queen, great stuff. I think the right person won each tournament. And again, I love that they put stakes on this. And I love the 5-match format on the PLE. So, thumbs up for me as far as the PLE and the booking decisions and the format.
So TJS, so Gunther is going to get a shot at the world title, which we have to assume is probably going to be maybe Drew McIntyre, heel and heel. I mean, Drew's definitely healed with this whole run that he's on. And then Liv Morgan, kind of a heel. Nia Jax, if she keeps the title by then, are they really going to do those, or are they going to change it up? Like, I don't know. That's kind of odd to me. Maybe some characters will change along the way, or maybe something will happen with one of the title belts, or we won't expect it. But any thoughts on that possibility? And yes, we have the other titles as well. So it doesn't. I guess you can have. You don't necessarily have to have true baby face and heel for every single title match when there's all these titles. But any thoughts on looking forward?
Yeah, well, I mean,
based on what we know right now.
Damian Priest is losing that title at Clash.
To a heel, though, right? To Drew.
To Drew. I'm starting to wonder if they're going to do a double turn where Punk turns heel and Drew turns face. So that way we can get Gunther versus Drew at SummerSlam in case Punk isn't cleared. I don't know, but I mean, the bigger question here, Virtue, for me, is where does Punk fit in? You know, if he's going to be cleared or not for SummerSlam. But I mean, I'd rather see Gunther versus Cody than Gunther versus Drew, to be honest with you, because we've already seen Gunther versus Drew. So would be interesting if they do heel and heel. And I guess we're probably going to get Nia versus Bayley is my guess. So not really sure what Liv is going to do at SummerSlam, but I think we're going to be talking a little bit later on about who she beat last night. So,
all right. Well, I'll move it over to Walter now, get his thoughts.
Yeah, shout out to WWE. They're proving that, you know, the shorter cards, if you book well, and the overseas things, it's working really well. And I know it's a good break for Aaron, a good change of pace, like when he can get done with reviews early. Yeah. So it helps out. So like these shorter cards, and then you can get more of the story, and each match had a good length. So like, I'm happy for that. Like Queen Nia, I saw that coming. Like I called it. I did a clean sweep on this PLE. Like sometimes predictability isn't always negative. Like I knew that they were going, but I went with Gunther before the whole Triple H saying that it was SummerSlam, because now it is interesting what they can do. Because do you have Punk screw Drew in Scotland, and then in Berlin you can have in Cleveland in SummerSlam, you could have Gunther beat Damian and then go into Berlin as the champion and be the hero, because he's going to be faced no matter what. Even though he's from Austria, it's right there, right next to Berlin. So when he goes to Berlin, he's going to be the face anyways by default. So it'll be interesting to see what they go. And then Liv, she has a revenge tour. I just felt like the revenge tour had to end in this title. But maybe that's good news, because maybe Rhea's coming back faster because I don't understand why else pull the trigger of having her get the title if Rhea's far, far from coming back, because last time Liv was the champion, and for months it kind of was stale and it wasn't the greatest thing. So like everybody's just knowing that they're gonna want that to pop off with Rhea, but now they're doing the whole Dom thing, and we'll get into that. So the story has kind of had a curve to it, but everything else was fine. But yeah, it's real interesting to see what Gunther is at. All these heels as champion, and what do they do? But at the same time, Priest with the whole Judgment Day might default become a face later anyways, because I feel like you can already see with Carlito and everybody, you can see the tension in the Judgment Day. So Damian Priest might get kicked out and he'll be the face anyway, so it won't be heel. I don't know if they'll pull it off by SummerSlam, but you never know. So some interesting things coming out of the PLE.
Now, Walter and TGS, and I was playing on my phone a minute ago, trying to find the Twitter or X.com video that Aaron puts out. Sometimes does it on the NoDQ one, then sometimes he does it on his profile because I like to share it. Maybe I missed this. Neither one of you talked about Cody Rhodes. Neither. I mean, and Logan Paul is a big match performer. I'm just, again, it is king and queen of the ring and the whole Dominik stuff. I get it. We want the soap opera, but I'm just pointing that out. Now, Aaron, maybe I should have waited because maybe you would have. I mean, you had the whole recap anyway. But go ahead. It's your turn. I saw Psycho Jet Black is back.
Yes.
This is not good news for later in the show. But anyway, Aaron, I'm going to pass it to you. And again, it's just nothing against Cody. It's just WrestleMania hangover, and Logan Paul puts on great matches. I just want to know, why aren't we talking about this more? Especially in Logan Paul's case. He's busted his ass to be a top heel.
I know.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Psycho Jet Black, who's back. Says, remember, Gunther's Achilles heel is a brain buster. Yes. So if you want to beat Gunther, bust out the brain buster. That's how the Intercontinental title changed hands, and we'll see if they should definitely tease that'll be the finish of a future Gunther match. Somebody does a brain buster, and they're like, that's the move that beat Gunther at WrestleMania, and then he kicks out, of course. TJS?
I was just going to say, is that like the brain buster that Goldberg gave Undertaker?
Ooh, yeah, that was in Saudi Arabia too. Yeah, that was quite the move there by old Whisker Biscuit. But anyways, as far as Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul goes, like, I did enjoy the match. I thought it was very entertaining. But yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of buzz for this show. I showed Virtue the view counts on YouTube. The Double or Nothing show got way more views than King and Queen of the Ring. And just in general, like, site traffic was better on Sunday than Saturday. Now, granted, AEW has $50 pay-per-views and not as many people are watching it, so they're more likely to look up results or watch review videos than a WWE show. But yeah, even compared to Backlash, there was less buzz about this show. Tournaments, they're good when you do them every once in a while, but they're not exactly going to move numbers or generate a lot of buzz. And Cody's title run, it is what it is right now. It's just in its early stages, and we're all waiting for Roman Reigns to return or The Rock to come back, or even Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Just something where Cody's championship run feels threatened, and Logan Paul was never going to beat Cody Rhodes. But yeah, I did enjoy the match. I loved the camera angle with the elbow through the table. That was great, and I hope to see more of that stuff. And the thing that I'm really intrigued about right now is Chad Gable.
That's what I was saying. And again, I feel like that is like a bloodline angle, like not to that extent, but that drama, that what's going to happen next. When is Otis going to snap? And that's just a mid-card act. And Aaron, you and I talk, we're more entertained by that right now than the champions.
Yeah, and I think the highlight of the show, I think the highlight of King and Queen of the Ring was the triple threat match. Like, I'm loving Chad Gable and Otis. Otis does such a great job with his facial reactions. Yep. You feel sympathetic towards him. Chad Gable is really firing on all cylinders with the heel run. Sami Zayn does a great job. And yeah, like you said, it's almost like a mini bloodline storyline we got going on here. And I think once the Creed brothers turn heel and go with Gable, Like they're going to have a hot heel faction in WWE, and they'll be dominant on Monday Night Raw. Walter?
I'm the only one that keeps saying, but I want Otis to be a part of that. Keep him heel. Make this whole thing a swerve. Like, just because he can be undecided, be heel.
He's such a good baby face, though. Like you feel sorry from the way, like he's like a sad puppy, you know, the pouty eyes and stuff.
I know, but we did that whole baby face feel bad for him and then he finally got what he wanted with Mandy Rose. Let's see the dominant heel Otis.
Well, you know what? Matthew's comment here, I agree with him. Like the thing is, Otis had a lot of momentum with the Mandy Rose storyline, and then I think COVID kind of killed it, and that hurt. That Otis works well with a live audience. Like the pandemic, no fans in the arena. Like I think that really hurt Otis a lot.
I want to give you guys a tip. If you might not have known this about Otis, because I think his name was Dozer. He was in the Indies, and I think he came out of Colorado and worked a little bit out in Colorado. Well, you know, one of the guys that worked with him on character before he even went to WWE, Vince Russo. I just want to let everybody know that. And look at he's a mid-card act, but look at the Mandy stuff. You kind of cared about him as a character. Look at what's happening now. I'm just saying, I like when certain people can get something out of a wrestler to make even them feel significant as a mid-carder. And that's what we're feeling right now with Otis. Is it just me, Aaron, or with Chad Gable? Do you get a little bit of like that 2007-8 Chris Jericho with the short hair, the suits? Like not the same, but just kind of. I'm getting that like vibe a little bit. I don't know why.
No, I see where you're coming from with that. Chad Gable definitely has that demeanor that Chris Jericho had, very serious. You know, a very much a 180 from what he was doing even just a couple years ago with the whole "shoosh, please." You know, he's got a more serious attitude. Yeah, and Shorty G, definitely.
Oh my God! You know, if he can survive that, then I think he can do anything, because I think that might have been like one of the worst characters I've ever seen. Like.
Yeah, I mean, what a comeback for him. So I'm really happy for Gable, loving this stuff, and looking forward to Chad Gable forming a new Alpha Academy with the Creeds, and you know they'll kind of be like a new Team Angle. Think it's going to be pretty entertaining, and I hope they don't like rush through it. They got to take their time with this and let it brew over the next several weeks before they do the split. But yeah, overall, King and Queen of the Ring was a very good show. I love the early afternoon shows, and I hope they keep doing them. I hope it's a regular thing, and hell, even get the Big Four overseas too, for that matter. I would like it.
Did you do that super chat from Psycho Jet Black?
Yeah.
So we are caught up. We're going to talk about AEW Double or Nothing. That's a tongue twister. Yeah. And I mean, Swerve is still the champion. Let's see. Mercedes Moné is the TBS champion. What else happened here? Edge broke his leg. Gosh.
You know, hey, Virtue. They say in show business, break a leg, and he took it literally.
MJF returned and did his whole thing. I'm AEW, baby. What's everybody's take with Double or Nothing? I mean, 10 matches. I saw Aaron, you know, basically I just reading his tweets, I could see his eyelids, how heavy they were, without even seeing his face. Just a very long event. You know, of course, Team Elite got their W. Let's get some heat, damn it. But Walter, did you watch? See, I have to go on. I will not pay $50. They have done nothing yet for me to want to pay $50. If they were on an app, I'd probably watch them. I have to go and sift through highlights and stream and stuff like that to get my pay-per-view, AEW pay-per-view results and highlights. Did you watch this?
Yes, I watched. I pay it because I have to keep up with it because I'm part of the Japanese network and I have to be a backup for in case anybody can't do watch-alongs. I have to keep up with the product, so I need to be I need to watch it.
MJF was passionate, so I dig that, right? He's going to sell himself. That's great. So what's your whole take on all the events? And I think Toni Storm is still the women's champion, correct?
Yes.
So that did not change yet.
That actually, I think, might have stole the match of the night besides the old thing. But
I like that character.
Yeah. All right. So AEW is starting to become the I don't know why my mom is like stalking over me. But AEW, we got a cameo from Mom. But AEW is the definition of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, because they started the pay-per-view hot and it was great. And I liked the pay-per-view. And you did all the things, but then Edge happened, and then that
the
main event happened. All right, so I know you gave JJ an F-bomb during the review, but I meant during the predictions, but I'll try because my mom's here, so I can't really get into the way I want. But if you know the history of wrestling, started off as the Coliseum thing in the Olympics, but then it started off as circus shows, and in the 30s and everything. It was basically clowns and circus. That's damn near what AEW is returning wrestling to, because that damn main event was nothing but a circus stupid clown show. That's all it was. It's full of stunts and bull crap. I'm not watching a Hollywood movie. I'm watching professional wrestling. Yes, we've seen flame tables before, but do you really need to do flamethrowers and light someone on fire? Like literally, like what the hell are you doing, Tony? Then in a place where at maybe less than an hour before that main event, you get this moment to Martha Hart, and you announce the Owen Hart tournament for AEW. You made it this positive thing. An hour later, 25 years ago, Owen Hart fell from the Raptors on we all know what happened. So now you put Darby Allin, even though it is upside down and the other way around. Why would you put Darby Allin in that situation on a rope and like smack Martha Hart in the face? Like if I was her, you got pissed off at WWE, then I would pull whatever that Owen Hart tournament. Don't give them this name anymore. Don't let them use Owen Hart. You got pissed at WWE for 25 years. Let them put him in the Hall of Fame now if you're gonna approve this. And if you didn't approve it and Tony Khan did that, then that's some disrespectful crap. Like literally, we all were thinking about Owen Hart, and then you turn around and you did that. That was just a bad taste in my mouth. That was really bad to do that. I don't care who approved it. If he's James on our chat said that Darby is like a professional stunt man or something. So, and you had to get the law and approve, so he knew what he was doing. I don't give a crap about that. If you were a professional stunt man before you were a wrestler, go back to being in Hollywood. Damn it! Don't put that on my TV. That was stupid. And then Adam Copeland, you're 50 years old, man. Yeah. What the hell are you doing? Like, AEW is not going to stop until they seriously kill somebody in the ring or someone breaks their neck and has to retire.
Now, Walter, I want you to continue in a minute because you're bringing our numbers up here as you're ranting. Martha Hart and this AEW partnership for the Owen Hart tournament, she's like okay with endorsing a company that probably has the most unsafe working environment for their wrestlers. And WWE has moved on from Vince McMahon, and not saying she has to go back and have a relationship there, but I'm sorry, for years and years and years, you could say, Martha Hart was keeping Owen out of the WWE Hall of Fame. She is just bitter, and the fact that she can't even open her eyes and she thinks she's doing one up, like, oh, this is a great memorial for Owen because it's wrestling. I won't do it for that company, but I'll do it for this one. Does she not? Did nobody smarten her up that they're probably more dangerous than WWE the past 5 years since they've both been in existence? Absolutely nuts. Absolutely. And look, all I asked for is a little bit more safety, a little more wrestling, a little more working. We don't need what you just suggested, but carry on now, Walter. I wanted to say that before I forgot. Shame on Martha Hart.
It is. It's a damn shame. You got, and then you keep doing these weird, dangerous stuff. You got 50+ old Chris Jericho. Remember a couple years ago the way they ended that pay-per-view from the cage to the table and all that, and everybody was like, but still, why do you have Jericho jumping off of that? Why do you have Sting jump all the stuff Sting was doing? Granted, Steve is a little loco, and he tried to do it as safe as possible, but he wanted to go all out because he knew he was leaving. But you could have risked Sting's life. You're risking all these people's lives. Like, they're really not going to stop. Like, if I wanted to see that crap, I watched the Derby. What is that? The Derby shit when they crash all the cars. That's basically what the hell that is. And it's like, you can't compete with WWE because you don't know how to book and you're a piece of crap. So you have to resort to that bull crap to try to get your ratings. Because your ratings are so down the damn toilet, you cannot compete with WWE at all. You resort to this bullshit. And that's all it is. It's bull shit, and Tony needs to get it together, because you're going to lose that company when that one wrestler really gets hurt and they sue the hell out of you. You cannot afford it the way Vince can afford those lawsuits that he got. Every time he got a lawsuit, he got out of it because he makes money and his company is not in the red. Tony, you're in the red. You can't afford to get sued. Stop this shit.
Dude, and like Walter, just like looking at, see, we're interested in, like, for instance, when is Otis going to have enough and take out Chad Gable? Or like you said, it's all Swerve and,
yeah,
you know, the bloodline stuff that we see. Looking out Dominic and Liv, what's going to happen when Rhea comes back? That's all safe. That's that story. That's, you know what I mean? That, like, and then what you say is the AEW wants to do, because the thing is, those fans, what do you do when you have crazy stuff all the time? You have to think of crazier stuff to get people to talk about it. It's just, look, I mean, I saw Will Ospreay. When did he get dumped on his head? Was that the pay-per-view, or was that? Yeah, that was the pay-per-view.
That was the opening match of the pay-per-view.
It's Will Ospreay, and he's okay and stuff, but like, come on, man. Like, Edge breaks his leg. Like, like, you're supposed to be able to do it, entertain the fans, and then be on TV the next night or that week, and then do it again and load up again.
And like you just said, like, where's the ceiling? It's never gonna stop, because you gotta outdo the last one. You got exploding chairs and dumb shit that you're doing. Like, I don't know what Tony's doing. Like, somebody needs to, like how they say Donald Trump had snatched the phone with the Twitter there. Somebody needs to get in Tony Khan's head and just be like, this isn't how you do it. Like, get some people like how WWE had the Undertaker, those enforcers and things. You got Adam Copeland, you got Chris Jericho, all these people. Put them in positions of power to book and show you how to run things. You got Bryan Danielson, one of the greatest wrestlers there are. Have him do that. Instead, you kiss the elites' butts and you put them in these powers who are just going to book themselves to look good and win all the titles and do everything that suits them. They're not going to put anybody else over when they run the company. That's why you should not have that in your contract. You should not be an EVP and an active wrestler at the same time, because it's too much favoritism. And that's what this company is going to go down the toilet. And we're all wrestling fans and we're all the reviews. So don't say I hate AEW. I want it to do well. Otherwise, Aaron won't succeed, and other people like you two won't succeed. We need the competition.
Now, thank you, Walter. Take a break. Get a drink. That was great. I'm going to pass it to Aaron next. You have to wait a little bit longer, TGS. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I did want to just respond to everything that Walter said, because he went on quite a bit of a rant there, and I definitely understand his points. And there are some people in the chat room, Dr. Benzadrine, I think is how you pronounce it, bringing up some of WWE's controversies. And let's face it here. Wrestling has been and always will be a carny business, and they're trying to make money, and they're going to push the envelope. They're going to try to break the rules as much as possible. This is every wrestling company in the history of the business. They're all guilty of it. So, you know, AEW doing this stuff, it doesn't surprise me, because we've seen it many times over the years. Now, we talk about some of the reckless things that happened in WWE over the years. Yes, WWE did a lot of crazy stuff during the Attitude Era. Mick Foley went off that Hell in a Cell cage, and we all were entertained by it, even though it was extremely dangerous what he did. But here's the thing. Wrestling has evolved. Wrestling is not what it was 20, 30 years ago. Mick Foley himself will tell you that what he did was stupid. He is paying the consequences for his actions. And there's a comment in the chat room about Chris Benoit. At the time, we did not know the effects of concussions. We did not know that all those chair shots to the head were going to cause some serious problems later in life for many of these wrestlers. Like we saw it happen late 90s and then through the early 2000s with all of these wrestlers dying young, and changes had to be made. The wrestling business is different now. There's really no need to do all these crazy stunts when there's lots of other ways to make the shows entertaining. And look at Mick Foley. Some of his best stuff was with a sock. Like I enjoyed that because the guy wasn't hurting himself. I've always said this, so I'm consistent with my opinion on this. I think the best wrestling is when it looks real, but nobody gets hurt. That is the art. If you're getting hurt, you're not doing it right. If Edge is getting hurt, Adam Copeland's getting hurt, he's not doing it right. Bret Hart is the perfect example because he went out there and made it look real, and he almost never got injured. I don't think ever injured anybody to my knowledge. At least that's what he claims, and I don't recall any stories about it. Bret Hart was about as safe as they came, and he made it look believable. That's what we need. We need the art of being able to create an illusion that what we're seeing is real when it's really not. Walter, go ahead.
Sorry, Virtue. I'm gonna steal your stick for a minute. But you marks out there that keep talking about WWE and learning and what they did and WWE did it, that you're adding to my point. If someone else already did it and showed you the catastrophic results, then you should then learn from it and not repeat it. That's the point. Those
that don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
And I think, Walter, you're speaking on behalf of a lot of people that haven't bought into AEW like me, that want to, but they're not doing enough. They're just doing the matches to appeal to the wrestling match fans and the crazy stuff to get the clips on the internet. And they're not necessarily focusing on drama and story like WWE even does on the mid-card these days, as we're seeing play out right now. And that's what we want. You can still have your matches, but why don't you do a little bit more, give a little more effort. Don't put random people together. Make it a reason, not because they're 7-1 and 8-0, or, you give them a reason, a feud. Make people want to wrestle each other, beat each other up, whatnot, like it used to be. Go ahead, Aaron. We got to get TJS on here soon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He walks out.
Right. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, says, should MJF be the Sting to the NWO Elite? I say once he's done with his Adam Cole feud, and I'm not sure when Cole's coming back or what's going on with that, but yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that down the line. By the way, MJF being back, very happy with MJF coming back. AEW definitely needed him back, but as I mentioned on my recap, I almost felt like it got lost in the shuffle because of all the other things that happened on that show. Like MJF should be the focal point, not a guy getting set on fire or Adam Copeland breaking his leg. Like it should have been the big epic return of MJF. So MJF is great too, because a lot of his stuff, he goes out there and just talks, and I love it. And he can wrestle, but I think he took maybe a few too many risks towards the end of that title run, like him jumping off the top rope to the floor when he did that. I think it was at Full Gear, like that. That was a little bit much. He doesn't need to be doing that stuff. He's too talented to be risking serious injury like that. But I appreciate the wrestlers that want to go out there and give you your money's worth, but you have to do it safely. Walter?
Virtue, did I call it? I told you guys MJF has been signed that contract. There's no way he was sure. You knew he signed that contract, and now he's got the tattoo.
Yeah, but we don't like it. Could be a couple of years where he still could go to WWE in the future. Did they really give any details on it other than he's just back?
No, but I knew he signed. There was no way he wasn't gonna not come back. He has too many things to put dot his I's and cross his T's. So I knew that was gonna happen.
Aaron, caught up on super chats?
Yeah, let's throw it over to TJS. I'm curious what his input is on all this.
All right, come on, your turn, Tej.
All right, well, I'm looking at the replay of the show right now, and it was 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 17 seconds. I did a little calculations. If we cut out 3 of those matches that I didn't feel like we needed, we would have saved 43 minutes and 35 seconds, plus entrances. So we probably could have shaved off an hour of the show. Anyway, looking at the matches, Ospreay versus Strong, I thought it was fine. It was just a wrestling match. MJF coming back, I hope that's a fake tattoo because I think that's kind of cringe, to be honest with you. But glad he's back. Hopefully he's making the money that he deserves. Trios match, don't care. Women's match, don't care. Orange Cassidy versus Trent, don't care. Chris Jericho versus Hook versus Shibata, I like the match. I'm liking this Jericho gimmick. I know that's not a popular decision or opinion, but I love Jericho, and I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He's a great worker. So 2 thumbs up.
TJS, the whole learning tree thing is kind of confusing to me, but what I do like that I just picked up on recently, he's acknowledging those haters by, "Hi guys, how you doing? I'm on TV again."
Yeah, I love it.
I hope he keeps like being like that. That's entertaining to me.
Yeah, me too. Moxley versus Takeshita, don't care. Copeland versus okay, so Adam jumping off of the cage. I know you guys were talking a little bit about the stunts, but if Edge does not want to jump off the cage, he's gonna tell them no. And I get it that there's probably peer pressure, but if Ed says I'm not jumping off that damn cage, know what? Like Tony Khan or anyone cannot make him do it. So maybe this is just Adam Copeland. Adrenaline, was kicking in. He's like, yeah, I can make the jump off the cage. Terrible idea. Aaron, I know you shared the clip of Macho Man when he did the jump. And you said his in-ring work was never the same after that. So speedy recovery to Adam, but okay. Mercedes match, don't care. Swerve, don't care. Okay, Anarchy in the Arena.
Well, Swerve and like Christian Cage has been doing a really good job.
Oh yeah. Christian is doing the work of his career, but Swerve just feels like a mid-carder to me. I'm sorry, but these matches are too long. The show's too long. But the most entertaining thing on the show was Anarchy in the Arena for me. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to disagree here with you, Walter. Exploding chairs, people getting set on fire, whatever, the name of the match is Anarchy in the Arena. So, I would rather have this than kendo sticks and chair shots to the gut like in WWE when they call it Extreme Rules. They do this match one time a year. It's not like they're doing it every week. So I like the match. And I'm fine with these stunts. Again, no one is forcing anyone to do anything. If these guys aren't comfortable doing it, they won't. Like I said, Edge is not jumping off of a cage if he doesn't want to do it. And what are they going to do? Fire Edge? Are they going to fire Adam Copeland? AEW needs him. He doesn't need them. I don't even know what that is, JJ, but I don't think that you have much of a basis here. It's Anarchy in the Arena. Justin Roberts literally said, "Welcome to the shit show." What do you want? If they didn't do this kind of thing, people would say, "Oh, is it really Anarchy in the Arena? It was very tame."
You're right. I mean, you're right about that. If they did like just a somewhat hardcore match, people would be disappointed. Yes, like now they want the fire and crazy stunts. This is what they come to expect.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know if you guys know, but that wasn't like a shoot bomb in the chair when it exploded. That was practice. There's no way that they're letting out live pyro. Jack was wearing flame retardant clothing. There's no way that he was shoot on fire. Like, I don't know what you people want. Like, if it was not enough, you would complain, but now it's too much. Like, no one can be happy. They advertise it as Anarchy. You get Anarchy, you cry about it. Fickle. Yeah. Okay, JJ. No one will shoot trying to kill anyone. It's a show. And I also want to point out that we cannot pretend to be Martha Hart, and we should not tell Martha Hart what she should be offended by.
I mean, you're right about that. I mean,
Owen Hart did not die from hanging upside down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me say
bad
this.
Taste, though.
Well, let me say this. I didn't even process in my mind that might have been something offensive until Jeff brought it up in the chat room. He's like, "This is so disrespectful." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
People look for things to be offended by, Aaron. Like, that's where we're at in society. And I'm not getting political, but I'm just saying, like, if WWE did something like this, no one would care. So I
would care. I'm not offended. It's just that you can have a hardcore match without going that far. You don't.
But it's not a hardcore match. It's
like the part with the bus. That was funny to me. I don't mind that part with the bus, but like it's just bad taste to be hanging somebody after 24 and then the same month. Like, if you're gonna do that, at least do it like separate, like far away from when knowing that, like
is it bad taste?
Just went.
I
said that. It's
well,
bad
no,
taste.
no. I mean, was it bad taste when Logan Paul came down from the rafters when he was making his entrance? I don't remember the show, but he came down from the rafters. Is that bad taste that they're using the zip line or whatever?
TGS, the issue with Martha Hart is she, for years, WWE is not safe. They don't care about their talent. And she's now endorsing her late husband's name in a company where wrestlers get hurt and they have very, very unsafe stunts. And that's my problem with her. It's kind of a Benedict Arnold there.
Yeah,
that's the wrestling business. It's the wrestling business.
I can agree.
Aaron said, it's the Carney wrestling business.
Yeah,
I can agree with that. But I mean,
okay.
The thing that's just bugging me is like, I don't think it was in bad taste because, Aaron, like you said, you didn't even think about it until people started bringing it up.
Well, Jeff brought it up in the chat room, and then I was like, okay, I can see why people would be offended by it, but I didn't even register in my mind as the match was happening.
Well, look, let me say this. If someone was, like, thrown from the rafters or something like that, then, I would say this is in bad taste. Like, this is terrible. You shouldn't be doing this. I don't think there's any correlation here. I think that people are just looking to be offended, and all due respect to everyone here. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm just saying I feel like people are reaching, No
offense, but you don't see it the same way because you were pissing and shitting in diapers still when Owen fell. All right? So it doesn't have the same effect to you. Like, that really affected us older people because we've seen a man literally die live on TV, and then you're going to, 25 years later, you guys can't use my husband's name. You can't put him in the Hall of Fame. You were unsafe. You killed my husband. But then you turn around with another company like Virtue just said that's unsafe and let them hang somebody upside down.
Oh, well, I agree. Like, I agree that Martha's being hypocritical. But just the Darby Allin hanging upside down spot in a vacuum, I think that there was nothing wrong with it.
All right, fair enough. We're going to move on. Aaron, you want to catch up on the super chats before we do it?
All right. Shout out to Psycho Jet Black, who's back this week, has some good lines for us tonight. Says, so when WWE buys AEW, will Triple H do the invasion angle the right way? Imagine the Elite and CM Punk working together because they'll have a real boss. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think AEW is going out of business. I know people are wishing for it to happen or whatever, but I think AEW will be fine. We'll talk about their potential TV deal later this year once there's some concrete news about it. I mean, right now it's just speculation. But yeah, I would not rule out Kenny Omega and CM Punk crossing paths one day, maybe in WWE. Never say never, right? Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat that says, remember, CM Punk chose to jump into the crowd. Oh, is that when he did that stage dive and hurt himself?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Injuries can sometimes happen completely random, and other times it's a bad idea, and the guy gets hurt, like what happened with Adam Copeland jumping off the top of the cage. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, real fire, cry me a river should be a T-shirt. I mean, suggest it to them. I'm sure they'll do it if enough people want that shirt. They're probably already making one as we speak. I mean, it would not shock me at all. Anyways, we're caught up. AEW, I thought it was a very good show, but too long. You guys know my thoughts. I'm old, whatever. We can move on.
Moving on. Dominik Mysterio and Liv Morgan. And some incidences over the weekend allowed Liv Morgan to become the women's world champion. And with Rhea Ripley gone, there's going to be a storyline coming back. What's really going on? Dom's playing innocent, like he's just trying to make things right. The big smooch on the lips on Raw last night, and here we are with some drama. You know, the funny thing is, TJS, I'm going to come right back to you, and you can go on this one. It's funny because, we know, like, Dominik Mysterio is married to someone else in real life, and here we are. They're actors, right? In movies in Hollywood, actors and actresses kiss each other in films. That's all. But this reminds me, it's like Vince McMahon is still there, even though he's not. There'll always be that little bit of Vince McMahon in WWE where you have stories like this. What's your thoughts here with Dominik and Liv and ... Rhea when she comes back?
Well, Liv won the title on Saturday, so kiss Dominic on Monday. So hopefully next week we have the live sex celebration. No, but I am perplexed here. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming with Liv being seen in the background. Dominic, I mean, I really liked the ending to that cage match on Raw. Thought that was really creative, and I'm pretty interested to see where this goes, because it seems like Rhea has to be a babyface now when she comes back, and I'm interested to see just how far along she is in recovery. Aaron, do you know what her official injury was?
Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
What was it off the top of my head? There's been so many injuries.
It was her right shoulder, allegedly, from that backstage part. Where
that's right.
Wall.
Okay. Yeah, where Liv attacked her.
You know, and that's what, it could be a million things. She wanted time off or whatever, but I think she'll be back at some point soonish.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think it was pretty inevitable for Liv or for Dominic and Rhea to split because, I mean, they seem to be appearing less and less on TV together. So, I mean, this is a soap opera that I'm seated for. I love this kind of thing. I like the drama. We kind of talked about this, how we have a story here, and it's been cooking, and I'm looking forward to it. I just think it's crazy how far Dominic has come from, when he was yanked out of the crowd by Brock Lesnar a few years back. And he's just, I think that he's pretty much a staple of WWE television now. So I think this is awesome. Raw is, unfortunately, USA cut off the kiss, which was crazy. That's a huge angle that they missed. Can't believe they didn't get an overrun. But hopefully we get Rhea versus Liv at SummerSlam. I don't know, like I said, where Rhea's sitting as far as recovery goes, but it would be cool if, maybe we get Dominic pretty much forgetting about Rhea Ripley, and then, whenever Liv celebrates her win or whatever one time, and then you hear Rhea's music, like the place is going to go crazy. And maybe we can even get Rhea versus Dominic in a match. I'd like to see it. I think that would be interesting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying what they're doing. It's kind of giving Judgment Day a new lease on life for me. The fact that they're doing this, plus they seem to be leaning towards a Damian Priest babyface turn. So keep it going. Looking forward to see what happens next.
All right, Walter, this is safe. I mean, smacking them on the lips and slipping a little bit of tongue. I mean, you could get herpes or something, but I mean, I think it's pretty safe. It's storyline driven. Very Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty safe, but WWE effed up by not sure. Like, you lucky we're in the social media era, because that would have been cut off of TV and we would have all missed it. That would have been for live shows only. So the timing kind of screwed up. I don't know what's up with the Raw, but it's like 3 weeks in a row where I think, right, Aaron, where it's just like randomly ended, like abruptly. Like they've done it like 3 times in a row. I don't know if it's a timing thing, a WWE thing, or the USA Network, or a Sling TV thing, because that's how I watch it. But either way, I'm good for it. JJ did a private message with the Rhea versus Liv custody of Dominic ladder match, like as a joke, and I found it hilarious. That's funny to me, but yeah, we'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously it's going to lead to Rhea, but metaphorically, this could be the kiss of death to Judgment Day. It might ruin the whole faction because he's doing things on his own. He's helping Liv. Making it look like he's helping Becky, but he helped Liv. He invited Carlito without permission of Damian Priest. It's like he's doing everything you're not supposed to do. He's not including the group. He's just out on his own. So this metaphorically could be the kiss of death, but it leads to Eddie. Maybe Eddie, storyline in the full circle is his real dad. He already doesn't like Ray because they broke up, but look, he's got the mullet. He's got his mamacita, and now he's cheating on his mamacita. He's got plausible deniability. He didn't kiss her, she kissed him.
Yeah.
That's how we think. So it's true. He's got plausible deniability. He can say that wasn't me, that was her. We know what it's leading. It's gonna lead to some romance before them. I'm here for it. Like you need the male soap opera. That's what wrestling is. You need the soap opera in it.
Fair enough. And Walter, I don't know why I'm a little shocked that Liv Morgan made her way back to like the main event, on the women's side, at least for Raw. I thought after she had her title run on SmackDown or wherever it was back then, that was it. And she just kind of be with a tag team, and she was. I don't know. Are you a little shocked with her getting back in there? Maybe because of injuries. And
they ran out of people.
Another thing, and now there's the brand split as well.
I think it's a circumstance of chances. Yeah, it's circumstances. People being out. I don't think she would have got there. Maybe eventually against Rhea, but yeah, I just think take advantage of situations. Like now, let's see what you do with it because your last title run was So
who was it? Who was it that hated Liv Morgan? Wasn't it Mo Camera, Aaron? Remember, he initially said Alexa Bliss, and then I think he changed it to Liv Morgan. So at least on that part of it, I'm glad she has this push now because it's making him miserable. So that's
JJ's
great.
Not a fan of hers either.
Yeah. So all right, Aaron, over to you on the drama with Dominik and Liv and potentially Rhea when she returns.
All right. Well, we do have a couple super chats here. Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. Thank you, Psycho Jet Black. Welcome back this week. Says Dominik has both Liv and mommy. Poor Buddy Matthews. I mean, did you see that picture of Buddy Matthews on the beach with her? I think he's doing all right, and he's been a good sport about all this. I think somebody photoshopped him out of that picture of Rhea Ripley, by the way, which I thought was funny. But he's a real trooper. Like there was also a picture of a fan and Rhea Ripley at a grocery store, and you could see Buddy Matthews just standing off in the background. I give the guy credit. Like he it would be tough in that position, like having such a famous significant other who's the star and you're kind of in the background.
Well, do you remember who he was with before this, Aaron?
Who?
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, they dated, Alexa and Buddy.
This is no different than an actor. Like he's a good sport. It's no different than actors have to do their job. It's part of it.
Buddy's just like a nobody compared to Rhea.
Rhea's doing fun stuff too, though. She did some stuff. I can't say on your channel, but she said some stuff about him on his Twitch that brought his ratings up. So she's playing her part too.
Yeah. Now, apparently, Liv Morgan and Bo Dallas were dating for a while, and she says she's single now. Mr. Anderson sent in a $5 super chat. Says Liv gave Dominik the kids of death. Uncle Howdy coming after Dominik. What does that even mean? The kids of death.
Like Liv,
I think he means kiss of death.
He meant kiss because I said kiss of death earlier.
Yeah, like Liv's going to be a part of that group, and I don't know.
Okay, well there you go. That could be a new gimmick. Uncle Howdy can have some children come in and they could be the kids of death. You just created a new angle.
He means kiss because in the mafia, once they give you the kiss, that's pretty much mean.
I've seen The Godfather, Walter. I know what the kiss of death is. I just don't read every chat room message, so I missed it. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says Uncle Howdy versus Dominik. Live on a pole. Yowie wowie? Is that what he meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he means Yowie.
Yeah, well, I wonder if Alexa Bliss will be with Uncle Howdy again, or not again, but just part of the
She's been out forever, it feels like.
Well, somebody said they thought they saw her on Raw, like in the background, like very, very far in the back, darkened room. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, I'm loving the Liv Morgan storyline, and I think this has been the best thing to happen to her career.
Yeah,
and maybe part of it was a happy accident. People got hurt, and she was able to step in. But I think this Rhea Ripley injury is also a blessing in disguise because Rhea's gonna be huge when she comes back. I mean, she was already on the verge of turning face, and this is going to elevate Liv Morgan. Dominik does such a great job. Like, I think everybody's getting elevated from the storyline, and I'm enjoying it. It should do good numbers too. This soap opera stuff definitely draws in the audience. And between that and the Chad Gable storyline, Raw's doing pretty good right now. Walter?
I think this is probably pretty much the storyline they were going to run with anyways. They just fast forwarded it because of Rhea's injury. Like eventually Dom and Liv would have been caught in like the kissing and like some kind of hidden camera, like GTV, like that would have happened if Rhea never got injured. It just would have been hidden and Rhea would have caught her. So I think they just fast forwarded it because of injury. So I think this was always the plan.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right on that one, and they just had to change things around a little bit. David Estevez sent in a $2 super chat, says, Judgment Day gets Dijak for the Strowman problem. I like it. I mean, they got to do something with Dijak, right? But apparently he's got a contract coming up. I would love to see him versus Strowman. I think he would be a good fit as like a new Judgment Day member to counteract Braun Strowman, because JD McDonough sure as hell ain't going to do it. He's just going to get his ass kicked. So they need some new muscle, and who knows if Priest gets kicked out of Judgment Day at some point. Like he might be out of it if he loses the world title. Like, I don't know what's going to happen with Judgment Day, but I feel like they've had a pretty good run with Chad Gable starting his heel group most likely. Judgment Day's their best days may be behind them unless they can get in some new blood. But yeah, looking forward to the eventual Rhea Ripley versus Liv match. I don't know when Liv's going to be back. I mean, maybe SummerSlam, but I think
Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea might be back 3-4 months. I think it's touch and go for SummerSlam. Whenever she does come back, it's going to be a fun storyline. So that's all I got for that.
All right, main event. Everybody ready? We're going to talk a little bit about Becky Lynch. Now, obviously, it seemed like she was probably going to take time off after SummerSlam with Seth Rollins, her husband.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I got one on you.
After WrestleMania. And because Rhea got hurt, next thing you know, Becky's the champion. And obviously she lost it to Liv already and the follow-up match. And now we hear what's happening with her contract. Where's she going? I don't keep track of all these contracts, Aaron. What's our latest on Seth Rollins? He's extended, right?
He's back. He's
long-term WWE. Okay.
He signed a new contract, and he's hurt right now. So, I think she was going to take time off after WrestleMania and spend time with him while he's recovering from his injury.
Now, do couples, are they on different shows? Sometimes, yes, but usually it's because someone was released. Becky ain't getting released, and could Becky pull a Mercedes Moné and want, like, hey, I'm going to go over here and get the vault from Tony Khan? It ain't happening. I don't really have much to say about this at all. Seth Rollins is still in WWE. Becky Lynch will also still be in WWE. Just wait it out, and she'll be back at some point. So this whole little cult that starts online, oh, Becky's going to AEW. Let's just nix that. Forget it. Anybody want to speak on this TGS on Becky Lynch? Yes.
Yeah, I'll say my piece on this.
Okay.
It's wrestling, so anything can happen. Never say never. However, I do not see Becky Lynch going to AEW. I think that, yes, she could potentially make it work. I mean, it's a lot easier when your significant other is in the same company. But with AEW, you could have a lighter schedule and just show up once a week and still make time for your partner and your family. But I don't think that's going to happen. What I think is going to happen is, as you mentioned, this was the time she was going to take off after WrestleMania anyways, with Seth Rollins being hurt. And because of what happened with Rhea Ripley, in case, I think we may have said this on the NoDQ review, Walter or somebody might have said it, in case of fire, break glass, and that's the deal. Yep, it was Walter with Becky Lynch. So they had the title change there. It was just a short-term thing. And yeah, her contract's up. And if I'm Becky Lynch, I'm not going to sign right away. I'm going to take some time off and just have the freedom to be with my family. And hell, let Tony Khan call her up and make an offer. Why not? I would get as much leverage as possible and try to work both sides against each other. I mean, that's what Brock Lesnar did with the UFC. Every time his WWE contract was up, he would, all of a sudden be in talks with Dana White again, and all these news reports would come out. Oh yeah, he's talking about doing another UFC fight. and that way WWE would up the ante with their contract. So if I'm Becky Lynch, I'm just gonna sit back, let AEW potentially make an offer, and then let WWE counter it and see what happens, and just take your time. But I would be very surprised. Now, of course, there are people that we thought were WWE lifers that ended up going to AEW. And, a lot of people didn't think Cody Rhodes was going to leave AEW. I remember when that story first broke, people were very much in denial, saying, there's no way, this is fake news. Cody Rhodes is not leaving AEW under any circumstances. He's an EVP. He's not going to leave. And he left. So never say never, but I certainly would not bet money that Becky Lynch is going to AEW. I would say it's very unlikely, highly unlikely in all likelihood.
Especially that she's always, like, even when she's not at the top, she's always got something interesting. And then, of course, when they needed her, they put the title right back on her. So, like Mercedes Moné left because she wanted to be champion. She didn't want to get a championship match and lose. And I don't think Becky is that way. So she's a lifer to me, especially with Seth Rollins being there. TJS, what do you think?
Well, I mean, we talked about MJF and his tattoo. I feel like if anyone was going to get the WWE tattoo, it would be Seth Rollins. Of course, he is signed, as we talked about, and he's married to Becky. And wait, they're married, right? Yeah. Yep. Okay. And they have a child. So, I mean, to be honest, this is kind of a non-story, in my opinion. I mean, of course, there is a small chance that she does end up going to AEW. Like Aaron said, people were saying there's no way Cody would go to WWE. People were saying Adam Copeland would never go to AEW. But I think that the direct correlation here is the fact that Seth and Becky are married. And they have a child together, like we said. So, I mean, I would be very shocked to see Becky end up anywhere else, especially because I believe you guys mentioned this too. We're in kind of a situation now. She's reached the top of the card. So in case of emergency, break glass and put the title on Becky. Yep. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I think that she is WWE's biggest female superstar on the roster right now. I mean, Rhea is a star, but Becky has been consistently at the top of the card for years now, and I don't see any reason. Of course, I mean, I don't know what her motivations are, but I do not see any reason why she would want to go back and play for the minor leagues when she's in the MLB. And she's been, in the starting lineup for so many years. So I think that this is all just a drama thing. She, like we said, she wants to kind of draw it out, see if she can get a better deal. But I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the contract has been signed and we're just being fed crap. Yep. So, yeah. I mean, there is not much to say about it, but I think it would be very shocking if she ended up anywhere else. But, there are people already that are fantasy booking and saying, just wait until we see Becky Lynch at All In. Like, yeah, okay. The day that she shows up at All In is the day that.
Well, remember Drew's going to leave WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to get Kevin Owens again.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
leaving WWE.
Yeah. Kevin Owens looked so upset. He wants to just go be with his friends. Yeah. And then they say, Drew's going to be at All In. And then he gets a custom sword by The Rock. Like, Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Non-story.
Right, yeah, I kind of agree there. Walter, what do you want to add before we close this thing up?
Yeah, it's pretty much to do about nothing. It's a negotiation tactic. Dangle the option of someone else so that they can give you more money. It's a negotiation. You start high and you work your way to an even ground with WWE. So you make it look like somebody else has interest in you, and you get it. Or like TJS just said, you can make it part of the storyline and wouldn't be surprised if she already signed. I mean, every wrestler has little knick-knack injuries. Maybe she just wants to rest and be with her family, maybe have another baby. And, she's been on the road for close to 10 years straight. Like, let her have her little time. I think she just wants time away. So, and instead of trying to be signed and then take time away, I don't think she's built like that. So she just wants to take her little time away. And then when she's ready, she'll make that phone call and then sign.
Well, thank you, Walter. And like I said, not like TJ had said, non-story. She's a WWE lifer. Again, Aaron, never say never, but
Right.
CM Punk is back in WWE, but like, come on. I mean, it's very, very, very low odds. Aaron, any other super chats?
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says, Aaron, when are you getting a no DQ neck tattoo? Well, I was considering saying that if Becky Lynch goes to AEW, I'll get it, but I don't want to jinx myself. I'm not that confident.
You know what? Aaron,
will you do it, TJS? If
No.
she goes to AEW, okay. Well, then
No.
you're not. You still think there's a chance she can go to AEW? None of you will say on camera, I'll get a no DQ neck tattoo if Becky Lynch goes to AEW. None of you will say it.
There's a chance. There's a chance an engine plane will fall out of the sky and land
Well,
on my
then
head.
say it. Say it on camera that you will get a no
DQ.
DQ neck tattoo. Say
I'm
it.
not a tattoo person.
Don't give me that.
Aaron,
You got tattoos in places where
No,
you can't look.
I've never
Aaron,
been a tattoo person.
I need to call out Aaron right now, real quick. While
Oh, really?
I just remembered, Aaron. What is going on with the saxophone?
I played it.
You did?
I did play it on the no DQ review.
Did you? I don't. I remember that. I must have been on my.
I mean, it was that bad that
Are you
everybody.
gaslighting?
No, Jeff was on for it.
We've had so many no DQ reviews. I don't remember every little moment.
I've
So
just
that's why
been-
it's all on the channel. You can go back and watch it.
I keep watching CM Punk's return over and over, and I just keep thinking like, "Oh, I'm ready to see Aaron play the sax." So I guess I'll have to go rewatch. I'll go rewatch every no DQ review, and I'll let you know when I
It
do.
was like February 23rd or 4th, whenever that no DQ review was around then.
Wow. Well, I mean, I've watched all the shows, so I just don't remember. I'll have to go back and look. Sorry.
I mean,
He
it was that bad that we were all quick to forget about it. But last thing I wanted to say about the neck tattoo too. Maybe I would do it if Virtue would get a tattoo on his neck that says Cody won clean.
Oh no.
If he does that, I'll get a no
First of
DQ
all,
neck
there
tattoo.
would never be a neck tattoo.
Well, then there you go. But
On the
that's the
neck.
condition. That's the condition. It has to be on the neck. Cody
Nope.
won clean.
Have
Well, then there you
seen
go.
Great Khali's tattoo.
No, and I don't want to. I don't
You
even
gotta-
want to know about it.
You
Don't
gotta-
tell me.
Okay.
All right. I think we're all caught up here. Oh, wait. Psycho Jet Black sent it a $2 super chat. Says, Virtue, when are we getting a Roman Reigns tattoo?
No, I would never get a tattoo of anything wrestling or anything. Like even my sports team, nothing like that ever. Nothing. It would no.
All right, there you have it. Not even a Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom tattoo?
Nope, nothing like that. It'd be. I don't know what it would be, but it wouldn't be like a logo or a mascot or a person, like a famous person. No.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, I'm not a tattoo guy, but if Virtue did the Cody one on the neck, then maybe I'd do it. But that's the only condition. So probably not going to happen.
Well, let's go ahead. Last words. So TJS.
Great show tonight, guys. Love being on. Thanks for having me. You can follow me on X at TYLRJSPHSMTH. And yeah, thanks again for having me. We have Clash of the Castle coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
It's what is it, 2 or 3 weeks from Saturday? Something like that. Yeah, gonna be good stuff. Yeah, gonna be good stuff.
Cool.
Always good to be on, and thanks again.
Thanks for being on in a pinch. Little role reversal there for you.
Yeah,
You did
crazy.
it. Walter. Go ahead, Walter.
Yeah, follow me on the X at Walter Alex Cruz, the at Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel, and of course the Instagram Cal Fire Farms. As always, it's been fun, and thanks for always having me on.
No, hey, Mr. Reliable. No. The day you start pulling, I can't be on the shows last minute, I might quit myself. Go ahead, Aaron.
That's the end of the world as we know it. If Walter starts pulling out, maybe at that point I'd have to get that tattoo if Walter starts becoming unreliable. But thanks, Walter, and I enjoyed your rant tonight. That was fun. And
I like when I don't have to do it once in a while. Somebody else stepped up. Great.
I know, and sometimes we have Mike on, and Mike has some hot takes about The Rock and
That guy's
WrestleMania.
hilarious.
Well, that's my brother-in-law for you.
I think I got him on that one pretty good. But anyway,
I love that. Yeah, I love that. That was great.
Yeah, so we always appreciate when people come on and have some strong opinions. Just we don't want people walking out. We want everybody to have a good time, and we want everybody to enjoy the streams. And we try to stay out of the politics and religion. Just stick to professional wrestling. Stick to just the scripted world of wrestling and entertainment. That's what we're all about. Trying to just help everybody out there. Forget about their problems for a little bit, and we can just talk wrestling, have a good time. That's what it's all about. So thank you all. Thanks to the panel tonight. We had a great chat here, and looking forward to. I think we're going to be on Sunday night for the NoDQ review, at least for the foreseeable future. I believe Clash at the Castle was on Saturday, and Forbidden Door might be Sunday. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but at least the next couple weeks we should be back on our Sunday time slot. So stay tuned to NoDQ.com. That's all I got. Thank you all again, and we'll see you next time. Virtue?
Check out NoDQ.com/merch for all the great shirts. Go to x.com at NoDQ_virtue and have fun with me over there. That is it. This has been the NoDQ Review 287 for Aaron, for Walter, for TJS, and the whole NoDQ crew and galaxy. Good night, everybody. We'll see you Sunday night.